Welcome into the Brick Lane Melbourne Aces pre-show. My name is Michael Mark Antonini. He's Josh Sperber. We are here to preview Game 3 of Round 2 between the Melbourne Aces and the Perth Heat. But before we get into the preview for Game 3 tonight, let's talk about Game 2 last night, Josh. Tough loss for the Aces. Perth took home a 6-3 win to even up the series at a game apiece. 2 of the 3 runs for the Aces came in that fourth inning. What did you like from the offense?
Well, really just the resilience. You know, they never really gave up. 9 hits was a season high for the Aces last night, but 2 of their 3 runs did come earlier in the game, but still 6-2 going into the 9th inning. They did support Jeremy Young, who has just been phenomenal so far this season, with the run in the 9th inning, and it just shows that this Aces team has zero quit. They're always getting hits, and just they didn't get them at the right times last night.
Yeah, this Aces team has played from behind quite a bit so far through their first 5 games of the season. All have come at home, but like you said, they've been resilient, no quit. A few bright spots throughout the lineup last night. Jared Dale, let's start with him. Picked up his first hit of the season in just his second game of the year. RBI doubled down the left field line into the corner. What'd you see from Jared?
Yeah, he was shaking off an injury in that first round, playing a little bit for Team Australia as well, but good to see him get on the board hitting-wise. And even though it was just the one hit for him, he was still getting his bat in the ball, batting the ball pretty well, seeing the pitches, and I think he just did a really nice job getting his first hit for the team.
2-time Helms Award winner Aaron Whitefield, playing in his first season with the Melbourne Aces after a couple years with Brisbane and a few with Adelaide, had his first 2 hits as a member of the Aces last night. A bloop single to right field early in the game, and then he tripled later in the game. How about Aaron Whitefield, and what is it going to take to get him continuously hitting for this team?
I mean, just getting on the board, you could tell talking to him after the game that just a big weight was lifted off for his shoulders. Obviously, a guy with the pedigree of Aaron Whitefield in the ABL has a lot of expectations on his shoulders when coming to defending champions, but talking to him after last night's game, you could just tell that he was relieved to get that monkey off his back, get himself on the board, and contribute in a positive way for the Aces. Expect a lot more of that from Whitefield this season.
Yeah, so Whitefield and Dale, 2 of the 4 extra base hits for the Aces last night. The other 2 came from Jacob Robson and Robbie Glendinning towards the top of the order. Now, Robbie did not play in Game 1 of the series, came back last night, but he leads the team with a .400 batting average through a few games this season. How about what Robbie's bringing to the team?
Yeah, you can't really call him an unsung hero. He's a guy who's just been really good at all levels he's played at. Some good time in the minor leagues as well for Glendinning, but he's just been another really solid contributor. He's been someone you can count on in that Aces lineup to get hits, multiple hits in 2 games already this season. Gotten a hit in just about every single game he's played as well. He's been really nice and solid, and Jacob Robson, another pillar of consistency in the middle of the order for the Aces as well.
So like I said, not too many bright spots, but still something to build off of the rest of this series and the rest of the season for the Aces with the bats. Let's flip over to the pitching side of things. Dan McGrath got the start after a complete game, his first time out, beating Geelong Korea in round 1. Did not have his best stuff yesterday, ends up going 4 innings.
Yeah, just a couple of the borderline calls did not go his way. He still looked pretty good. Again, it's really been the home run that's been the undoing of the pitching staff. McGrath and Jack Fox, 2 guys that you can point to that have given up almost all of their runs via the home run. But other than that, a heavy pitch count for McGrath, but still, for the most part, aside from that Boyarski home run, he really got the job done for the Aces, and the bullpen was spectacular as well.
Yeah, 3 relievers pitched last night for the Aces. Jeremy Young, the guy who finished the game. Now, he was pitching with the Aces down 4 runs, but he kept the game at that 4-run deficit. 3 shutout innings in his 3rd outing this season. What are you liking from Jeremy so far this year?
I mean, the only runners that have scored off of Young in the 2022 season have been the ghost runners in that long extra inning game. He has been absolutely lights out. Only 2 hits given up by Young so far. Just hitting his spots, really in great communication with the catcher. He is just an absolute stalwart in that bullpen.
7 innings of work for Jeremy Young through 3 games. He leads the bullpen in appearances and innings pitched, and looks like a great back-end option for Peter Moylan going forward this season. Now let's switch gears and talk about tonight's matchup. Like I said, the series tied at a game apiece, with a young right-handed pitcher going on the mound for the Aces tonight. What do you know about Kyuta Kazama? A little bit of an unknown commodity around these parts.
Yeah, I mean, he's just kind of highly touted. Not a lot is known about him because he doesn't have a lot of professional experience. Just 19 years old, but his fastball goes up to 97 miles an hour. A really exciting pitching prospect. I can't wait to see him get going.
Kazama was supposed to start Game 4 against Geelong Korea in round 1. That game was postponed, so He'll make his first start of the season tonight. Everybody here in Melbourne excited to see what the first-round pick from Japan's Western League does tonight. What do the Aces need to do to take Game 3 of this series, Josh, and put another one in the win column?
Limit the long ball, I think, is going to be the main thing. That has been about 2/3 of the runs the Aces have given up have been via the long ball. You saw Song Chanoi last week. This week it's Ulrich Bojarski with a home run in each of the first 2 games. So just keeping the ball in the ballpark with the wind might be a bit difficult.
Game 3 of round 2 between the visiting Perth Heat and your Melbourne Aces. Keep it locked right here on Aces TV. Thanks for watching the Brick Lane pregame show. He's Josh Sperber. I'm Michael Marcantonini. We'll talk to you on the broadcast.
Fire me up, Daryl George. A 2-run shot, and the Aces take an early lead. A walk-off grand slam for Matt O'Neill. Good evening, everyone, as we welcome you inside our broadcast booth, getting set for Game 3 of a 4-game set between the Melbourne Aces and the visiting Perth Heat. Round 2 of the 2022-2023 ABL season. Just a few minutes away from first pitch. First pitch bumped back to 7:10 p.m. from our originally scheduled 7 p.m. time. My name is Michael Marcantonini. He's Josh Sperber alongside me. Josh, let me welcome you into the broadcast. Another day here at Melbourne Ballpark, second straight home series for the Aces, getting a little bit more comfortable playing in this 2022-2023 season, but a tough loss last night, 6-3.
Yeah, and we talked about it earlier on. It's just the hitting did not come at the right times for Melbourne. They had a couple. They kind of scored in bunches last night. Robbie Glendening, a big part of that in the early stages of that game, the 4th inning, where they had 3 doubles in the first 4 hitters, but after that, it was just, a really good job by the Heat bullpen to limit some of the base runners, and a great start from Brock Gilliam as well.
Yeah, pitching was the story early. The bats came out in the middle innings, and eventually a 6-3 win for the Heat. It snapped a 3-game winning streak for the Aces, but they look to get back in the win column tonight. They send right-hander Kyuta Kazama to the mound, 19-year-old Japanese pitcher who will make his first appearance in the ABL. We'll talk a little bit about him later. He'll go up against right-hander Jordan Power, who will make his second start for the Perth Heat. We'll get into a lot here on the Brick Lane pregame show, but first, let's get into a Vibrant Services weather update, and weather playing a key factor tonight, Josh.
Yeah, a short delay going on. 100% chance of rain does not look great, but it seems to be holding out right now. You see in kind of the deeper part of the sky towards the Laverton train station. It looks like it's clearing up a little bit. I think we're going to get this game in. Might be wishful thinking, but the weather's been solid for most of the day.
Well, if you think we're getting it in, I'm going with that. Hey, but last night, 0% chance of rain. Tonight, 100% chance. So you could say we went 0 to 100 real quick.
Real quick. And you can see on the radar that it could get worse. It looks like some kind of a storm coming in from, let's say, the west. I'm not a meteorologist, so I'm not going to try and use that correct speak. But, again, it seems like it's going to hold out. Only a 10-minute delay. Not too bad. I know the Aces and the Heat are both itching to get the game started.
The team split the first 2 games of this series. We'll see who takes a 2-1 series lead and comes away with the W tonight. Let's get into the keys to the game, Josh. So tell us what we got going on tonight.
Well, that bullpen for Melbourne has been absolutely electric. Jeremy Young has been a big part of that, but pretty much every guy they've thrown out of their pen has been reliable. So as long as they can get a lead to that pen, the Aces should be in good shape. But they have to make sure to get some timely hitting and get some more hits with runners on the bases. 6 runners left on bases is around average number for a team, but you just want to get those timely hitting that we saw a lot more in the first game against Perth, and particularly in that extra innings game against Geelong. And then Kyuta Kazama making his AL debut, as we've said, you have to get some run support behind him to give him that extra boost of confidence. He's got a lot of talent. His fastball can go up to 97, but at just 19 years old, it could be a daunting situation for him. So the run support from the offense is going to be crucial tonight.
Well, we know that Kazama's on the mound for the Aces, and we will let you know who the starting 9 are behind him in the batting order for the Aces. We'll get to the new era technology starting lineups now. Leading off for the Aces, they go with center fielder Aaron Whitefield, who had 2 hits last night.
Yeah, he's definitely in a good place. Got his first hit, definitely seemed happy with that first hit. I expect a lot bigger things from him. And Chris Burt has been outstanding in the 2 spot as well.
Yeah, Chris Burke, a couple multi-hit games this year. In the 3 spot, it's the shortstop, Robbie Glendenning. Big double off the center field wall last night, Josh.
Yeah, I really like him as a 3 hitter. A good combination of power and contact. Recorded a hit in every game he's had with the Aces so far.
J.D. Osborne's behind the plate tonight, batting 4th. He leads the team with 8 RBIs.
And 4 of them came in the first game against the Perth Heat. You want a guy to clear up the bases in the 4 spot, that's your guy.
Jacob Robson batting 5th in right field. He's been a mainstay in the order for the Aces. Batting behind him in the 6 hole, it's Matt O'Neill, who gets a break from catching tonight. He's over at first base.
Yeah, it'll be good to see him out in first base, but he's been a really consistent hitter for Melbourne since he's got here. And then Jared Dale getting his first hit of the season after kind of a slower start working with Team Australia, but he is going to be a big part of the Aces lineup going forward, and Aiden Willis off that development roster is set to do the same.
Yeah, Jared Dale in the 7 spot, Aiden Willis batting 8th, and rounding out the lineup batting 9th, it's the third baseman, Jared Cruz, who's always fun to talk to. Had a chance to catch up with him before the game, had a lot of good things to say. And the starting pitcher, as we've told you, is right-hander Kyuta Kazama, just 19 years old, Josh, and he's about to face a couple former major leaguers and a lot of guys with some serious professional experience in this Perth lineup.
Yeah, and you know, it's a good way to get your feet wet in your professional career. Plenty of scouts are interested in him. 19 years old, can already hit 97, and a nice muscular frame, very projectable going forward. I expect a really nice start from him.
Give you a quick run-through of the starting 9 on the flip side for the Perth Heat. 1 through 3 in the Heat order, Tim Kennelly, Willie Vasquez, and Junior Caminero. Josh Reddick's in the 4 hole with Ulrich Boyarsky and Pete Kozma following in the 5 and 6 spots. And then 7 through 9, Alex Hall, Jake Bowie, and B.J. Cook behind right-hander Jordan Power, who was really good his first time out, 8 strikeouts in 4 innings of work. Took a no decision against Adelaide in round 1. A couple of right-handers going at it tonight, some big bats in the lineups. We are just a couple minutes away from first pitch here at Melbourne Ballpark, getting set for the national anthem. And we will wait for the Aces to take the field. Michael Marcantonini and Josh Sperber again with you on the Brick Lane pregame show. First pitch was originally scheduled for 7 p.m. It's been bumped back to 7:10. So we are 7 minutes away from the first pitch. You see on the screen there, the Aces having some fun in the dugout. Got the phones out, taking some pictures. It looks like everybody's loose in that Aces dugout.
Well, yeah, they got a special guest from the Melbourne Storm. Ryan Pappenhausen is in the house throwing out the ceremonial first pitch. So just more Melbourne athletes just getting together.
J.D. Osborne and Kyuta Kazama talking over the game plan last minute. Fist bumps all around as the Aces get set to take the field wearing their home whites tonight with the all navy blue caps with the M logo on the front. And tough loss for the Aces last night, Josh, but a chance to get right back at it tonight. Hopefully the rain holds off and they can put another one in the W column.
Yeah, obviously a short sample size, but no consecutive losses for the Aces this season. And this is a team with championship DNA. It's something that we've harped on quite a lot this year, and it's something we'll continue to harp on because no other team in the ABL right now can say that they're back-to-back champions. 19 and 20, 20 and 21, the Aces took home the Claxton Shield, and you know all these players are motivated to do so again.
Nice crowd on hand tonight for the ball game. Game 3 of 4 between the Heat and the Aces. First of 2 times that the Aces and Heat will meet this season. Later in the year, the Aces will travel across Australia and play at Perth. But this time, the Heat in town to play the Aces. Second straight home round at Melbourne Ballpark. The Aces hosted Geelong, Korea last Friday through Monday, and Perth in town this week. The Aces will head out to Adelaide this coming Thursday through Sunday for round 3. But still the game tonight, Josh, and another one tomorrow. See if the Aces can grab a couple more wins and head into Adelaide with some momentum.
Yeah, and these kind of games are crucial in that. You can't really call it a rubber game just yet because there's an even number in each round. But Game 3, I mean, any way you slice it, in any series, any round, whatever you want to call it, you look at Game 3 in the World Series, every year there's some kind of impetus on the winner of Game 3 is usually set to take the series, and the Aces are trying to keep that momentum because it's such a big momentum shift getting kind of the middle game of any round.
Well, Aces manager Peter Moylan and Heat manager Andrew Kyle exchanging lineup cards and talking things over with the umpiring crew at home plate as we get ready to play some baseball here in Melbourne. Like Josh said during the Vibrant Services weather update, there is a 100% chance of rain at some point, but it's clear right now, it's dry right now, and that's all we can ask for. Last night, Josh, we talked about it on the broadcast, was really the best day weather-wise since we've been in Melbourne over the last month. Tonight, looking for it to this rain to just hold off a little bit longer.
Yeah, I'm very hopeful it is, but the wind is something that's certainly going to be a factor. Jared Dale was before the game trying to analyze the best spots to hit. Got him a lazy fly ball, predicting a whole lot of home runs because the way the wind's been blowing all day, if you hit that ball out to center field, that's just going to get blown right out.
Yeah, something to keep an eye on throughout the game today. Which pitcher can get more ground ball outs and strikeouts? Those are going to be some key factors. And we are still waiting for the Aces to take the field, and here they come, led by Jacob Robinson and the rest of the crew following behind. A couple of young pitchers in this game, Josh. We mentioned a couple times Kyuta Kazama, just 19 years old. But on the flip side, Jordan Power, he's 24 years old. So two young guys going at it, both in their first ABL seasons.
Yeah, I've got to say I love the name Jordan Power. That's just a really, really strong name. Guy coming from the University of Toledo, so has some experience pitching in pretty high-level college baseball, but this is still pro ball. There's always going to be a difference when it's pro versus college, really any other level. This is the level that people aspire to get to, so it'll be interesting to see how different that dynamic is for Power and for Kyuta Kazama here in Melbourne.
Fun pitching matchup on deck here at Melbourne Ballpark. We are set for the national anthem here inside the ballpark. We appreciate everyone tuned in tonight to watch Game 3 of this series. We'll take a quick pause for the national anthem. He's Josh Sperber. I'm Aussie Mike. We get set for Game 3 of 4 between the Perth Heat and the Melbourne Aces. The Aces took 2 of 3 in a rain-shortened round 1 of the ABL season here this past weekend, and now looking to get through all 4 games at Melbourne Ballpark this time around. But there is rain in the forecast. We hope it holds off long enough that these two clubs can get this game in. Kyuta Kazama getting set to throw his warm-up tosses. We'll get you set with how the Aces will line up defensively behind Kazama. And doing the catching for Kyuta is J.D. Osborne, makes his second start behind the plate. It's been all over the diamond, a couple starts at first base. He's spent some time in left field, but he is back behind the plate tonight. Left to right in the infield, Jared Cruz at third base, Robbie Glendinning the shortstop. Jared Dale's over at second base tonight, and Matt O'Neill getting a break from his work behind the plate. He's at first base. In the outfield, Chris Burke in left, Aaron Whitefield in center field, and Jacob Robson over in right. We know this is a really solid defensive team here in Melbourne, Josh, but just taking a look at the 3 outfielders, I mean, I don't think anything's going to drop. And it's Aiden Willis in left field, not Chris Burke.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to say Burke. He's been in left field for pretty much every other game. But jokes aside, I mean, there's just so much speed in that outfield. We've talked about Aaron Whitefield's pedigree, former Defensive Player of the Year in the ABL. Aiden Willis is mainly a center fielder, and putting him in left field is it's just unfair. I mean, he just has way too much speed, a lot of ground to cover out there, and man, does that guy have range. So I really like that move by Peter Moreland. And then Whitefield and Robson are going to be the center and right fielders, it seems, for the entirety of the season.
Yeah, and Robson, we've seen him make a start in center field. He's done it throughout his professional career. So you essentially have 3 center fielders patrolling the 3 outfield spots. And anytime you can say that about an outfield defense, you take that anytime.
Yeah, and that's rare to think. I mean, that's kind of thing you have in video games, but not in real life. And, I mean, you can really say that these guys can put up video game stats defensively in the outfield. I think it's just going to be really clean. And the infield as well, you got to like that. Jared Dale's got experience at shortstop, and, I mean, that really is his primary possession, but Robbie Glendining's not really a guy you can take out of that 6th spot.
Yeah, I mean, and you look around the diamond, I mean, you trust any of these guys with the ball hit to them, and so many of them can play multiple positions. And we are ready for baseball in Melbourne. A lot of wind tonight. Josh said that this could be a slugfest type of night. If anything gets up in the air, it's got a chance to go out. The wind is howling right now. As Kyuta Kazama gets ready to throw his first pitch of the night, it's a fastball that misses low and away. Count quickly 1-0 on the Heat leadoff hitter Tim Kennelly. Willie Vasquez and Junior Caminero to follow. The top 3 once again in the Heat order. Next pitch from Kazama. Fastball ripped down the third base line. That one will get into the left field corner. Kennelly around first, and he'll pull into second with a leadoff double. So 2 pitches into the game, Kennelly is on second base. He led off the game with a double last night. And then on the next pitch, he made a little bit of a base running mistake and was doubled up on a fly ball, but similar start tonight as last night for the Heat.
Yeah, and the Ace is certainly hoping that the same kind of base running mistake happens, but just a scorcher on the ground from Kennelly there. Not much Kazama can do. Still, he's getting the spots of the catcher, Osborne, and I really like Osborne catching the young pitcher for the first time because he's really emerged as a leader of this Aces team.
JD doing it all early with the bat. He's been great defensively. Kazama misses with a fastball there. It looked like he got squeezed a little bit. That one looked good. No outs and a man on second. That's Kennelly. Extra base hits to start the game back-to-back nights. Kazama a couple looks. And a quick foul ball off the bat of Vasquez. That makes it 1-1. So some early cuts for the Heat off of Kazama. Taking a look at that All-Star Access Higher replay.
And it seems like the Perth Heat, really aggressive mindset on the young right-hander, trying to get to him early and shake his confidence in his first ABL start.
Another fastball that's close, but it misses. And Kazama falls behind.
That's been an MO of this umpiring crew, really, Mike. Just a pretty narrow, pretty wide strike zone on the corners, but not as much up and down.
Kennelly, a big secondary. And he stays put at second. And a breaking ball from Kazama there. The count swells to 3-1. Willie Vasquez, this is his 7th game of the season. Off to a hot start. 333 batting average, 887 OPS. And Kazama paints one on the outside corner. Good fastball there from Kyuta to work back.
Really good pitches. Looks like he's got a fastball and a curve that he's working with quite a lot, but expect to see a lot of fastballs from Kyuta Kazama tonight.
Guy can go 97 or higher with the heater. Misses outside there. So first and second for the Heat for Junior Caminero, the third baseman.
I still like that pitch sequence from Kyuta Kazama. Not really trying for too much. Just slip the grip a little bit on that last fastball. And 2 base runners on early for the Perth Heat. But something that Aces pitchers have been able to do well is limit hits when guys are on base, and certainly in need of that right at this moment right now.
Early zeros on the scoreboard has been a theme for Aces pitchers and the opposition as well. First pitch from Kazama to Caminero misses outside. In fact, in 5 games at Melbourne Ballpark this season, neither team has scored in the first 2 innings of a game.
Yeah, that just shows how strong the starting pitching is And I think a big part of that for Melbourne is the connection that these pitchers have with the catchers. As you see J.D. Osborne out there having a quick chat with Kyuta Kazama, probably just trying to calm him down. He's not missing by a whole lot, but he's still struggling to get that fastball in the strike zone. He's missing on the outside part of the plate against right-handers.
Kazama looking for the first out of the inning, goes with a breaking ball there. Tight break on that pitch, top of the zone.
And we heard a lot about the fastball because it can hit in the high 90s, but the breaking ball is a nice low compliment. That's going to be low to mid 70s, and it's got a really nice dip on that 12-6 curve.
That one misses way high, so that brings Osborne out of his crouch to catch that one. And I think that's a good mound visit from Osborne early, settle down a young pitcher and just talk things over, make sure you're on the same page.
Yeah, and that's, again, we've talked about it all season long, how adept that these Aces catchers have been at getting those mound visits at good times, and it's had positive effects on their pitchers usually.
Kazama trying to find his way, trying to get a feel for all of his pitches here in the top of the first. 19 years old, he stands 6 feet tall. This is his first ABL go-around. He was a first-round pick of the SoftBank Hawks in the 2021 NPB draft, the Nippon Professional Baseball League. Ground ball up the middle that sneaks through into center field. Should be 1 run for the Heat. Here comes Kennelly. First to third, Vasquez is over 90 feet away now, and it's an RBI single for Junior Caminero.
And that's the earliest a run has been scored. And just kind of a hit him where they ain't kind of pitch from Caminero. Didn't get a whole lot of it. Hit just well enough and just in the right place, as we'll see on this All-Star Access Higher replay. Hit that right into the ground, but it bounced right up the middle. And Glendinning was pretty close to making a play on it.
So a hard hit double down the third base line into the corner, a walk, and a hard hit RBI single up the middle. Kazama still looking to retire his first batter of the game. Runners at the corners for Josh Reddick.
And Andrew Kyle moving Reddick down to the cleanup spot. Of some experience against really a rookie. Trying to use that to his advantage.
Reddick laces one into right field. Here comes Robson, makes the grab on the run. And the Heat are not able to add a run on the play. Ball was hit really hard, so if Vasquez had been tagging, I'm not sure that he scores anyway.
Yeah, and I think it also comes down to just teams have to know to respect the arms of these outfielders. We talked about it in the pregame about how strong these arms are, about how good the range of all these guys are, and that was a hot shot. Robson did really well to track that and get to it quickly to avoid any damage.
So the first out that 19-year-old Kyuta Kazama gets in the ABL is 13-year Major League veteran Josh Reddick. Fastball misses outside from Kazama, and you can hear the pop of that glove. Well, here's something to throw out there, Josh. Josh Reddick made his professional debut in the minor leagues in 2007. Kazama was born in 2003. He was 4 years old when Reddick started playing pro ball. Fastball up top. That misses to the right-handed hitting Ulrich Bojarski, who's gone deep twice in this series so far.
Yeah, dangerous guy to pitch to, and he seemed to be the home run hitter. He had Sung Chan Oi in Geelong, and Bojarski has gone yard in each of the first 2 games.
Fastball catches the inner part of the plate, and we haven't seen Kazama go to that inner half much yet, but he did there, and it worked for him.
And that one at 95 miles an hour, starting to pick up the velo on that fastball as he's gaining more confidence and kind of comfortability in his first ABL game.
Runners at the corners for Perth as they look to extend their 1-0 lead. Breaking ball spoiled foul. And now Kazama has the count back even.
You got to love the way he pairs that pitches. He fires a bunch of fastballs at you, and you kind of get lulled to sleep as a hitter, as it seems like Bojarski did. Just a really weak hip to try and make some kind of contact. Got a tiny little piece of it, but Kazama's pitch mix is starting to get in the heads of these Heat players.
Bojarski 6 hits and 17 at-bats so far this season. And 2 of those hits have left the ballpark, and both here. A 2-run home run in the series opener on Thursday night, and then a 3-run homer to open the scoring last night. Kazama laboring through this first. He gets a fly ball to the right side of the diamond. That one's in foul ground. See who wants it or who can get there. Robson touches the ball in fair ground, so it's a fair ball. And a run comes home. Everybody's safe for the Heat. A 2-0 lead for Perth.
And that was just one hit in no man's land. I'd be surprised if that was not ruled a base hit, but a really difficult play. Robson had to make a slide to just get an attempt at that pitch, but an early lead for Perth. And we take a look at the replay here. Boyarsky got right underneath it. I don't even think he expected that to land in fair territory. Just kind of tailed right back in, and looked like the wind, because the wind is blowing towards center field right now, so I think that played a part.
Yeah, I thought that ball was ticketed for the car park out in foul ground. I mean, O'Neal was headed towards, the batting cages, the way he was headed out to try to make that grab, and then all of a sudden it flew back fair. Kazama misses outside the zone to Pete Kozma, who had a nice game last night. Defensively, he really shined. Also singled, went 1 for 5 in the game. How about that web gem he made last night, that diving grab, full extension out at second base?
Yeah, he made a couple of really nice plays. Kozma looking like every bit the former first-round pick that he is.
Ball and a strike on Kozma with 1 down. Runners at first and second for the Heat. 3 hits and a walk in the inning for Perth, as Kazama looks to settle down and limit the damage. Caminero's at second, Boyarsky at first after the RBI single. Boyarsky now with 6 runs batted in this series, and 9 on the season to lead the Heat offense. Give him 15 total bases now as well. That leads the team.
Just everything's kind of breaking right for Boyarsky at this juncture. And that's what the Heat need. You expect that. You'd expect that to come from a guy like Pete Kozma or Josh Reddick, the guys with the major league experience, but it's Boyarsky trying to work himself back onto a minor league roster.
Kazama approaching the 30 pitch mark, and he only has 1 out so far. Looking to make it through the first and then eat up some more innings after that. Quick look at second now to the plate. Fastball way high and the count runs full. Well, Josh, the Aces were forced to go to their bullpen in the 5th inning last night. Now they only used 3 relievers. Cam Gibbons and Darcy Longstaff each tossed an inning, and then Jeremy Young ate up the last 3. But Peter Moylan would love to get a few out of Kazama here, but pitch count's high early. Well, he gets his first punch out as an ace as he goes with a breaking ball, freezes Kozma on the outer half. So the 2 outs that Kazama's recorded in the inning, Josh Reddick and Pete Kozma, it's almost 20 years of big league service time right there.
Yeah, not a bad first strikeout. Just you've been pumping fastballs at him, and even some of the best hitters get fooled by that breaking ball, and that's exactly what Kazama did. He's going to pump those fastballs because he can blow them by just about anyone, but when you mix them up with a breaking ball, that fastball looks even harder, and the breaking balls just look even more mesmerizing.
2 gone in the inning. Here's Alex Hall, the catcher. Hall had a nice night last night. 3 singles, scored a run, also drove 1 in. Hall, a member of the Australian national team, the main backstop for Team Australia.
And for Perth, he's caught all 3 games of this series now.
Zama looking for the inning ender. Misses high with the fastball again, and we've seen plenty of his misses up in the zone.
Yeah, and that's the better place to miss. He's missing a little bit too high. He's not leaving any give-me's over the plate. Just a little bit. Just the release point just not there, and it just darts up a little high. A lot of rise on that fastball.
But again, the velocity is there. Every single fastball that he's thrown, you hear the pop of J.D. Osborne's glove.
Yeah, and that's really the key with a lot of these flamethrowers. The start of their career, control is the main thing that they try to focus on, and that's one thing Kazama has needed the most tonight.
Ball 4 to Hall. It's the second walk of the inning for Kazama. And now Jake Bowie, the first baseman, will hit. He's the 8th man to bat in the inning. This is Kazama's game right now. Haven't seen anyone come out of the dugout for a chat. Nobody throwing in the Melbourne bullpen. Kazama up to 31 pitches now. He's only thrown 13 strikes.
And not the start you want, but there's plenty of pitching experience with a lot of big league service time, a couple of World Series rings as well. That can kind of help him out, I think. I expect Kazama to have a nice chat with either Graham Lloyd, the pitching coach, or the manager, Peter Moylan, just to try and settle him down, because the stuff has looked all right, but he's got to get it over the plate.
Fastball continues to miss high. The curveball he's used as a get-me-over pitch, and that's been the pitch that he's been able to trust and throw for strikes.
Yeah, I mean, I know he uses that curveball as a complement to the hard fastball, but the way that's been hitting the spots, I'd like to see more of that breaking stuff from him.
He went to the curveball again there. No swing, says the third base umpire, Casey Cook. Neil Medlin's behind the plate tonight, and Stuart Howe is the first base umpire. Kazama has fallen behind another hitter, 2-1 on Bowie. Next pitch fouled back, 2-2, so Kazama now 1 pitch away from potentially getting out of this inning. Trying to retire Bowie, who went 2 for 4 last night with a pair of singles. The Heat racked up 11 hits last night. The Aces had 9, the most they've had in a game so far this season, but just not enough. The 2-strike pitch. Tapped foul over towards the Aces dugout, and we'll do it again. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Heat lead the Aces 2-0 in the top of the first inning. We got underway a little bit late today because of a threat of rain in the area. But the rain has held off to this point. Kazama at 36 pitches, looking to end it on his 37th. 2-2, swing and a miss. Blocked in the dirt by Osborne. He steps on home plate for the force out, and the inning is over. So Kazama strikes out 2, but he faces 8 batters and allows 2 runs on 3 hits and a pair of walks in the inning. After a half inning of play, it's the Heat 2. The Aces coming to bat. Keep it locked right here on Aces TV.
One Love is there for the moments with the people you love the most. To share the highs and the lows together. It's the one for all people, all times, and all places. Brick Lane's One Love Pale Ale. It's the one for all.
Bottom of the first from Melbourne Ballpark. Michael Marcantonini and Josh Sperber with you on the call. Game 3 of a 4-game series between the visiting Perth Heat and your Melbourne Aces. These two teams split the first 2 games of the series. The Aces took home a 5-2 comeback win in Game 1 on Thursday night. And then the Heat got the better end of the Aces last night with a 6-3 win. They led the whole way. Perth with an early 2-0 lead. They got 2 runs on 3 hits and a couple walks in the top of the first off Kyuta Kazama, making his Aces debut and ABL debut. So here's Jordan Power, another guy in his first ABL season. He's making his second start for the Heat. 24-year-old Australian native. Pitched a little college ball in the United States, but Josh, this is his first go-around in pro ball.
Yeah, and it's the same thing as Kazama. The Aces hoping to jump on him, make him uncomfortable like the Heat just did in inning number 1. And this is a team that in all but 2 innings this season, when their opponents have scored, the Aces respond with some runs themselves. So we'll see how the offense starts things off tonight.
Top 3 in the Aces lineup: Aaron Whitefield, Chris Burke, and Robbie Glendinning. Same top 3 from last night. Whitefield in center field once again. Made a really nice sliding grab in right center to tracking down a line drive last night. Also picked up 2 hits, singled and tripled for his first 2 hits as a member of the Melbourne Aces. First pitch from Powers over for a strike. It's 0-1. Powers struck out 8 in 4 innings of 1-run ball in his first start of the season against Adelaide. Gave up just 2 hits in that contest. 3 seasons at the University of Toledo over in the United States, Toledo, Ohio. 36 games, 20 starts for the Toledo Rockets. Fastball called strike 3 on the outer half, and 3 pitches into the game, Whitefield's back to the dugout.
Yeah, Whitefield loved the call, but just high and on the outside corner. Not a bad start from Jordan Power, taking advantage of the aggression from Aaron Whitefield. And the one time he didn't offer the ball, Power froze him.
Well, you mentioned it, Jordan Power, great name, especially for a pitcher. And he showed the power fastball right there. First pitch swinging, Chris Burke comes up empty. Burke getting a chance to just hit tonight, a night off from the field. Spent the last couple games in left. He's been a mainstay in the 2-hole. He chases another pitch on the outer half. It's 0-2.
Certainly looking like early on that Jordan Power is living up to his last name. Certainly looks like a power pitcher, just pumping fastballs by the Heat, or by the Aces right now.
Working quickly, 5 pitches, 5 strikes so far. Next pitch from Jordan, breaking ball diving down and in at Burke. He lays off that one. It's 1-2. Well, in 3 seasons at the University of Toledo, Powers logged 147 2/3 innings, 5.73 ERA. Next pitch, called strike 3 on the outer half. That's nasty, Josh.
Yeah, when you can combine a low to mid-90s fastball with a breaking ball that dips like that, that is just not going to be easy for any hitters. Really good start from Power tonight.
Couple called strike 3s on Whitefield and Burke. 2 gone and no one on for Robbie Glendinning, the shortstop. Power goes with the fastball. This time he misses on the outer half, and we saw Kazama was squeezed a little bit on the outer half to righties in the top of the first.
Yeah, that one looked pretty clean cut, though. Certainly looked like it missed the plate, and an unsuccessful frame job from Alex Hall there.
Another fastball, the same spot, that misses as well. Now, the strikeout numbers don't jump out at you from Power's college stats. 109 strikeouts and 147 2/3. Not necessarily a strikeout pitcher when you just look at the numbers, but it's off to a great start in the ABL. Just 6.6 Ks per 9 in college, but 8 strikeouts in only 4 innings against Adelaide, and he already has 2, and he's only retired 2 batters in this game.
Certainly a good start. He knows the Aces hitters are aggressive, and he's trying to take advantage.
And Glendinning gets a piece of one there, but it's out of play.
And I like that idea by Glendinning to offer at that 3-0 pitch. It's kind of an unwritten rule of baseball, particularly if you ask Tony La Russa, that you don't want to swing at those 3-0 pitches. It's just a get me over pitch for the pitcher, but Glendinning offer at it, really trying to do anything he can to get the Aces on the board early.
Well, that's why we don't ask Tony La Russa anymore in 2022. But Glendinning walks on 5 pitches, so a 2-out base runner for J.D. Osborne, one of the hotter hitters in this lineup.
Yeah, he has just tormented the Perth Heat, particularly in game number 1. 1 run scored, 4 driven in. The Aces won that one 5-2. Last night he walked and scored in the 9th, but was otherwise 0 for 3. I think that means he's due, Mike.
I agree with that. It all adds up there. He's definitely due. Osborne with the bat on his shoulder, ready to go. Takes a fastball. That one actually looked good right there, but it's called a ball. by Neil Medlin.
Yeah, just a tough one to call, but it seems like these umpires have given the benefit of doubt to the hitter a bit more than the pitcher, and Osborne certainly happy with that.
Glendinning a modest lead at first. Bowie holding him on. Big swing and a big miss from Osborne there. Power got the fastball by him.
You can say he powered that fastball by him.
You could, and we will.
Oh, yeah.
We'll probably say it multiple times.
All the time. If there's an opportunity for a pun, folks, we're going to take it.
Next one from Power. Breaking ball misses outside. Looked like he slipped coming off the mound there. Most of his work in college has been in a starting role. Started 4 games in each of his first 2 collegiate seasons, and then 12 of his 15 outings in 2022 were starts. ERA over 5. Logged 74 in the 3rd innings. Fastball misses outside there, so control has been an issue. It was to Glendinning, and now here in the AB with Robson.
Yeah, he took advantage of the aggressive approaches from Whitefield and Burke, but he's facing a more patient middle of the order from Melbourne right now, and I think that's throwing him off.
3-1 swing and a miss.
Well, he's relying on that fastball. When he needs a strike, he pumps one down the middle, and that's a hard heater from Jordan Power.
Full count with 2 outs. Glendinning will be off on the pitch. He'll get a head start, so anything down either line or in the gap should score him. Payoff pitch misses outside, ball 4, so back-to-back walks. Each pitcher has walked 2 in their half of the first inning.
Yeah, a couple of strikeouts followed by a couple of walks. And that just shows good patience and really good discipline at the plate from J.D. Osborne.
So here's Jacob Robson, who had a couple hits last night. And now a chat on the mound with Hall and the 24-year-old righty Power.
Looks like Darryl George is out there coaching first base.
Good to see Darryl back, not on the roster for round 2. But he made an impact right away in round 1. He only played 2 games, but he hit 2 home runs, doubled as well. And in both games that he played in round 1, he got the Aces on the board.
With a 2-run home run. I mean, he's definitely someone the Aces are itching to have back. And he just adds so much to an already really potent lineup.
First multi-hit game of the season last night for Robson. He swings at the first pitch and fouls one back. So Robson gets to hit with 2 men in scoring, or 2 men on, 1 in scoring position, as the Aces look to mount a 2-out rally.
Representing the go-ahead run as well. Already 1 home run on this young season, so certainly a guy who can change the scoreboard with just 1 swing.
Next pitch from Power. He blows it by Robson. It's 0-2 on the lefty swinger.
Yeah, just a tough outside fastball, high and away. Robson recognized it just a hair too late. A little bit behind that one as he missed.
This Perth pitching staff has a combined .282 ERA and 51 innings of work. 52 strikeouts, just 15 walks coming in. Jacob calls for time, steps out. Well, he got a pair of hits off his teammate with the Kansas City Monarchs in the American Association, last night's starter Brock Gilliam. See if he can open his night tonight with a base hit. 2 strikes on him. Here's the pitch. Tapper out to short. Vasquez has it, throws off balance, and he beats Robson by a step. So the Aces threaten. They push a man to scoring position, but after a couple walks, they leave both of those base runners. After a full inning of play, 2-0 Perth. Top 2 after this on the Aces TV network.
Today.
I just don't know what happened with the focus.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than specials, we have specialties. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a sporting globe.
Light and Easy's award-winning healthy meal delivery service features over 235 delicious breakfasts, lunches and dinners for everyone to enjoy. From those who want to lose weight to those who want to gain more free time. From those who want to be a little healthier to those a little older who want to age well. There's no shopping or cooking and there's no contracts or subscriptions. Just your choice of affordable, ready-to-eat meals delivered to your door when you need them. Visit lightandeasy.com.au today.
Top two in Melbourne. Michael Marcantonini and Josh Sperber with you on the call for Game 3 of this four-game set. Round 2 of the 2022-2023 ABL season. Perth got 2 in the top of the first. The Aces put 2 men on with 2 outs in the bottom half, but could not get either home. And here we are, top 2, Kyuta Kazama back to work. He faced 8 batters in the first inning. Got a couple punch-outs, but not before 2 runs came across the score.
Yeah, and it looked like for a second the Aces were going to start a rally of their own. Robson almost beat out that last hit, a slow roller that was not too far away from being an infield single, but it'll be interesting to see how Kazama comes out in this second inning. You got to think he had a conversation with Moylan or Lloyd.
And a lot of times it takes pitchers an inning or two to really settle in. Hopefully that's the case for Kazama here as he starts the leadoff man B.J. Cook off with strike 1, and that's a good sign.
98 miles an hour on that fastball, too, right on the outside corner.
And an easy 98 at that. It doesn't even look like he's really throwing. That one misses a little bit high. I mean, you talked about it in the first inning, Josh, that 97-plus fastball and then that late-breaking curveball. I mean, how do you hit that?
I'll get back to you on that.
Yeah, let me know. Go get some swings.
Oh man, I don't think anyone wants to see that. I dislocate a shoulder before I make contact.
So Cook's the 9-hole hitter, then back to the top for Kennelly and Vasquez. Next one from Kazama. Good fastball there. He gets it by B.J. Cook.
Yeah, that fastball is looking a lot better, and for a flamethrower like Kazama, that's the kind of thing that helps get him energized, that helps keep his confidence where it needs to be.
Ready's the 2-2. That one misses outside, but once again, the pop of that glove of J.D. Osborne, you can hear it throughout the stadium. Another full count for Kazama. He's run a lot of deep counts so far in this one, and he'll have to throw at least one more to Cook, who fouls one back.
Looks like he's mixing a 4-seamer and a 2-seamer. That looked like a 2-seam with some tail away from the right-handed hitter in B.J. Cook.
Next one to Cook. Line drive into right center field. Whitehead over to cut it off, but he mishandles it in right center, and that allows Cook to slide into second safely. Should be a single and an E8, unless they go straight double there.
It looked like Whitefield was going to scoop that up pretty cleanly, and that's something you'd expect from him, but you got to give Cook a lot of credit for getting just a whole lot of barrel on that baseball, and they will give him the double on it.
Well, that's Cook's first hit of the series. He went 0 for 3 in game 1.
And I'm wrong. Single, E8.
That's why we work with pencil here in the scorebooks.
Oh, yeah. I make too many mistakes not to.
So an error on Aaron Whitefield allows Cook to get to second. Here's Kennelly. 2 straight games with a double leading off the game. Last night he was doubled up on a 7-4 double play. Tonight he came around to score the first run. This one flipped foul. A lot of contact early against Kazama tonight, Josh.
Yeah, the Heat going with a really aggressive approach on the young pitcher. You know, they certainly worked out in the first inning, but they're thinking that he might not be as ready as you'd expect. Maybe the nerves kind of kicking in. The Heat really trying to jump on him early on.
Kazama trying to prove that he can handle the Heat. He misses high with a fastball. And you know, I thought I knew you would. And I thought I heard something outside, and it sounded like rain. It is rain, so it's starting to come down a little bit right now.
Yeah, you can see a light mist, but some rain nonetheless here at Melbourne Ballpark.
Good curveball there from Kazama, and I'm really impressed with the late bite that curveball has, especially going inside to right-handed hitters, and clearly Kennelly did not like that call, taking a little extra time out of the box.
Yeah, I saw the radar flash up a little bit. It seems like the storm clouds and storms moving in a bit to Melbourne Ballpark, but we're still confident we can get this game in. I'm a lot less confident at how well the Heat can handle that late curveball, though.
Off the end of the bat, out to second, Jared Dale ranging into shallow right center. Good footwork there from Dale backpedaling, and Kazama has his first out of the inning.
Yeah, and a really nice pitch from Kazama right there. That fastball just darted right to the outside corner. And again, the late break on his pitches, the late life on both of his heaters, and the breaking ball as well. Gate got that first down of the inning for Kyuta Kazama.
Very easy to tell why he was a first-round pick in the NPB draft last year. First pitch fastball misses high to Vasquez, and it's not just because of the number you see on the radar gun with the fastball. If you didn't even know how hard he threw, just looking at the life he has on the pitches and the movement, you'd be like, all right, this guy's going to be a stud. Good fastball there. That's got to be tough to hit. In on the hands.
Yeah, just, again, it's the movement again. The fastball just jerks to a different location than it looks like coming in. I don't know how the Heat have got 4 hits on him already.
Rain continues to fall. It's a steady rain right now. They got to be big drops because I can see them. You know, what was it last weekend? I didn't even realize it was raining until an inning after it started.
I think it started, it was so dark. Like, it's just a lot easier to see the contrast on the sky right now.
Fastball misses outside. I thought that Vasquez went around there, and they did. So I was right. They appeal down to the base umpire, Stuart Howe, and he says that Vasquez went around. So 2-2.
Got to trust your gut, Mike.
That's what I'm saying. I was just thinking that. I got to trust myself.
Let's just hope your gut is telling you that this rain's going to stop, because we already had one rain delay, one rain out.
2-2 from Kazama. Breaking ball flipped in the air. Foul ground. O'Neal looking for it, makes the grab. And there's another pop-up that we saw headed for foul ground, and then it moved back into fair territory.
Yeah, and again, that's just really similar to the one we saw in the first inning that ended up as a base hit and an RBI for Ulrich Bojarski. It looked like it was heading towards the All-Star bar, then it tailed back, teetering on the foul line, and that one looked foul, but O'Neal did well to track that down and make the grab look easy.
2 outs and a man on second. That was a really nice play by O'Neal, given the weather conditions right now. A guy who has essentially played almost no first base in his professional career. 1 game at first base in his pro career, and he only played over there 2 innings. That came in the minor leagues in the Mets organization, where he still plays. Kazama starts Caminero off with strike 1. Yeah, Matt O'Neal played 2 innings of first base in rookie ball in 2019 with the Mets. A look at second. Pitch in the dirt. It's smothered by Osborne. Good job by JD to keep that one in front.
It kind of seemed like he's using a little deception to try and bait the runner on second base and Cook to make a move towards third, but tracked it easily, kept it in front of him.
Kazama looking to throw a scoreless second after allowing 2 in the first. Caminero steps out. And you saw it with Kennelly stepped out of the box to wipe some of that water off of his bat. And Caminero stepped out to wipe his face there. Rain coming down hard here in Melbourne. 1-1 outside, 2-1. B.J. Cook singled to lead off the inning. Got to second on a ball that was mishandled by Whitefield in center. And Kazama got Kennelly and Vasquez to both pop out to the right side. This one tapped to the left side. Will it stay fair? No. It's 2-2. Kazama's just the 4th ace to start a game so far this season. The Aces only played 3 games in round 1. And the 2 guys that have started the first 2 games of this round pitched in round 1 as well. So Kazama joining Cody Mincy, Brian Flynn, and Dan McGraw as the 4th starter in this rotation. Early returns on this 4-man rotation. It's pretty solid, Josh.
Absolutely. And we'll see Cody Mincy again tomorrow. Only let up an unearned run in his first start. He looked spectacular against Geelong.
2-2 off the plate. And another full count for Kyuta Kazama. Kazama up to 58 pitches, 29 strikes, so the ratio is evening out a little more. 3-2 2-out pitch. Breaking ball blasted. Deep left field. Willis ranges back. But he will watch that one sail over the left field wall as Caminero deposits a hanging breaking ball over the fence. It's a 4-0 Perth lead in the second.
Yeah, I haven't seen Kazama make a lot of mistakes, but that was one of them. Junior Caminero, a guy with tremendous power. His eyes just lit up when he saw that curve hang over the plate, and it's a 4-0 lead now for the Heat.
And that's really the first curveball that we've seen that high in the zone over the middle of the plate.
Man, look at the replay right there. Middle of the plate, a little bit towards the outside corner, and Caminero got all of it. And now it looks like the umpire crew are going to be convening close to the pitcher's mound, try and see if they're going to continue playing this game.
And they've called for the tarps. So we are officially in a rain delay at Melbourne Ballpark. Wish they would have called for the tarps a couple minutes earlier. It'd still be a 2-0 game. But after Junior Caminero launches a 2-run homer over the left field wall, that is the last pitch we will see in this game for now. And we are delayed here in Melbourne. So the rain continues to fall. It's coming down pretty steadily and sideways. So the teams are headed to their respective dugouts. Peter Moylan out to talk things over with Andrew Kyle, the Perth manager, and the umpiring crew. He doesn't seem happy that they called for the tarp at this time. Now, whether he wants them to continue playing or whether he wanted the tarps to be called for a little earlier, not sure. But either way, he doesn't seem happy about the current situation.
Yeah, I think he was just really trying to see what's going on, but it didn't seem like it's that hard of a rain. The rain is still definitely there, but it seems a light enough mist that they could play in this. But hopefully the rain will subside soon enough.
And they did call for the delay pretty quick. It was a quick chat when the 3 umpires got together. But officially in a rain delay at Melbourne Ballpark, it's the Perth Heat 4 and the Aces nothing. 2 outs and the base is empty in the top of the second. We will step away for now, take a quick break, and we'll give you an update when we get one. But for now, delayed at Melbourne Ballpark, hoping to get this one in tonight and hoping that weather does not play a role the rest of the night. So we'll step off the air right now and get back to you at some point soon. Perth with a 4-0 lead over Melbourne. Keep it locked right here for updates on Aces TV.
All right, thanks, gang.
Welcome back to Melbourne Aces TV. My name is Michael Marcantonini. An unfortunate update that I've got to pass along. No more baseball tonight at Melbourne Ballpark. The game is officially suspended. The Perth Heat and the Melbourne Aces got through almost an inning and a half of play, but with 2 down in the top of the second inning and the Perth Heat up 4-0. The tarps were called for. We officially went into a rain delay. We've been waiting it out since, but an official decision was just made. No more baseball tonight at Melbourne Ballpark. Game suspended. We do not know when this game will resume, but the regularly scheduled Game 4 of this series, set for 1 p.m. local time tomorrow, will go on as scheduled. It is Bark at the Park Day at Melbourne Ballpark. So if you've got a dog, you want to come out and watch some baseball, should be a great day at the ballpark for the final game of this 4-game series. So game 3 tonight officially suspended, with Perth leading Melbourne 4-0 with 2 outs and the bases empty in the top of the second inning. For my broadcast partner, Josh Sperber, and our fantastic crew here at the ballpark, that's it for tonight. My name is Michael Marcantonini. Thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you tomorrow. First pitch scheduled for 1 p.m. We'll go on air about 10 to 15 minutes before first pitch. Talk to you tomorrow, Sunday at 1 p.m., Bark at the Park at Melbourne Ballpark.